We've taken most of our time, Larry. One thing though that I did want to cover before we sign off, and this plays to your original background in terms of information and technology security.
Yeah.
We are living in a world today of where security is paramount, and security breaches have become pervasive, unfortunately, and it has, I think, completely altered the landscape. So, I mean, on the one hand, do you see any type of a global answer to security problems? And in the meantime, how do you see the channel being able to put the resources together in order to deliver truly secure environments?
Yeah. Okay, first, let's address the global solution. Uh, the the global solution is simple: abandon all hope. There is no prevention of a security breach. It is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and that is for everyone. It's the scale of the breach, what the response to it will be is the real issue. Like I was like 20 something years ago, I was cutting my teeth in information security, and people were like, oh, look at all the breaches that are happening now. Yeah, there's a lot of breaches. Proportionally, though, the same thing was happening 20, 25 years ago. The only difference is that we talk about it now. I mean, granted, this is, there's a lot of things that are different, but I mean, back then we used to hide it. We can't hide it anymore, because of the pervasiveness of government regulations and contractual standards. It's out in the open. So I think in that regard, we have to understand that, we have to accept that we are all vulnerable. It doesn't matter whether you're an individual or you're a big company or you're a country. I mean, hell, you got nation states hacking nation states, left and right. Then some would even argue that we are already in a protracted cyber war between multiple nations. So what do you do about this? Well, first is it's not about prevention, it's about mitigation. So you do, everything you can within a certain amount of reason to control the attack surface, meaning you reduce, what your profile looks like, and you put enough controls in place that is appropriate to your level of exposure or your risk tolerance. And then when something does happen, because all that does is it's the 80-20 rule, you're knocking out 80% of the things that could happen, but there's still a chance that 20%, the 20% that remains is still there. So then it becomes a matter of what do you do when it happens? How do you respond? And some people have asked me, so why not just address 100% of it? Well, it's a really simple solution. One, it's too expensive. So there is a tipping point in security to where you can spend more than it's appropriate, and more than the infrastructure and the data is worth. But more so is that if you go to the point of it's 100, where you're trying to protect everything to the nth degree, you make technology unusable. So there is inherent risk that comes with deals in technology, and that's part of what we need to do. Is we need to be able to design systems that adequately control risk to the point of where it's tolerable, and we have to educate the customers that that's what the true objective is. So think about it. Every day you step out of your house, every day you get out of bed, you're taking a risk. You could fall. You could get hit by a bus. You can get, a meteor could fall on your head. It doesn't really matter. Something could happen to you. It's all about the probability of what will happen to you and how much damage do you incur.
So are there channel players though that have become a big component as specialists in protecting security infrastructure?
Oh, sure. There's plenty. There's a number of companies out there, channel partners. Well, first, there's, the security segment of the vendor community is massive. This year it's going to be doing somewhere around $90 billion in sales globally. I mean, it is trending towards becoming over the next few years being about $150 billion segment. So I mean, the entire information security from the supply side, information security is a massive chunk of the technology market. Are there partners out there that have become specialists? Absolutely, there are a number of them. But the bigger problem is that there are more partners that attach security to their value proposition that aren't qualified or do not have complete capabilities or solutions that are still trading on it, and they're providing inadequate protection or inadequate services to their customers. And I think that that's one of the things that it is one of the things that we're grappling with, is that because security is in such high demand, it attracts a lot of ill-equipped or novice type partners, and that doesn't do the customer that does a disservice to the customer.
From personal experience, I would have to agree with you 100%, as there are a lot of small to medium-sized organizations out there representing security services as part of their suite of delivery and infrastructure management, and they really don't have anyone of the stature to put the systems in place to do it.
Yeah,
So
I mean, yeah, but don't get me wrong though, is that smaller businesses don't require as much sophisticated security. Sometimes it is just a matter of having software. And if you're reselling security software, that's great, but it doesn't make you a security specialist.
right.